I'm in sunny Seattle. It's not sleepless in Seattle anymore. It's actually sunny in Seattle. Hope everybody's doing great. I see comments already of my friend Matt. He's having a heat wave in Toronto. Today's going to be super special. This is actually the first interview that I have a master blender, a female black master blender on Savvy and the TheRumLab channel. Before I jump in really quickly, let me talk to you about today's program. We did the intro. Let me explain really quickly about the toolbox. To your right, you're gonna see there's all these areas that you can write your comments and share any information. We certainly want to let Carol know which part of the world you're visiting us from. If you have any questions, please write below. You'll see that says ask questions. Make sure to put all those questions there, and we'll go with them. We'll go through them. Please, if you can share the event with as many people as possible, let's invite a lot of people today. This is actually going to be really cool of what's happening today. Today's agenda is going to be around 30-40 minutes talking about the main presentation. Then we're going to be around 1 or 2 minutes contact information where you can learn more about the company. And then we're going to go to our Q&A, which is our Rum O'Clock Q&A. All right, let's really quickly. Today's main topic is piquing Carol's Homer Caesar's brain as master distiller. Master blender, sorry. I saw Carol's face. They're like, "Oh, Faye, what are you saying right there?" I'm like, "No. I'll fix that ASAP." Of course, our guest is Carol Homer Caesar. She's from Trinidad. She has let's talk about like a person that is extremely knowledgeable and well studied. Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry, Master in Philosophy degree in chemistry, and executive Master of Business Administration, trained at the Alcohol School of Technology in the US and at the Scott Whisky Research Institute in Scotland. Joined Angostura in 2005, worked in different roles. Of course, most of them senior management. And then she did senior manager in quality assurance, blending, and new product development. She's currently the master blender. And let me make this screen bigger because we want to see Carol for sure bigger. She is the star here today.
Hi, everyone. Great to be here in the TheRumLab. I hope today would be as exciting as the other sessions. And it's wonderful to be here with you, Federico.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel very blessed. Carol, let's go. There's a few topics that we want to talk about. But first of all, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Let the world know more.
Yes, well, as you know, I was born in Trinidad and I went to high school in the southern part of the island. And I did my undergraduate degree and master's degree all in Trinidad and Tobago. And I went on to do certifications in quality management system, as well as environmental management system, food safety, and laboratory accreditation. I went on to study at the Alcohol School in Kentucky in the US. And there I learned about different types of spirits, beer, wines, rum, whiskey, and also at the Scotch Whisky Research Institute in Scotland, where I really studied sensory evaluation. For me, my hobbies are I like biking, and I also like to run. I do a lot of 5Ks and 1 or 2 10Ks. I enjoy cooking, I guess, as a chemist. I really enjoy cooking, and as Angostura Master Blender, wearing that hat today among different hats. But today I would be speaking to you as Angostura, the House of Angostura's Master Blender.
Okay, so, I have a question for you, Carol. So you were, let's say you're 16 years old, and
Yeah.
then at that point you're like, I want to work around the alcohol industry, or was it like, was your father saying like, hey, this is rum, we're gonna make rum better, and you're like, Dad, I'm gonna help you, we're gonna make the best rum, and I'm gonna study this so that one day I'll have the makes best rums?
Well, it's interesting you ask that because actually my father worked in a laboratory, petroleum testing laboratory, and he would have taken me there when I was about 4 or 5 years. And then I went into sciences and actually started working in a lab like my dad and really enjoy chemistry. And that's where I went on to do my studies in chemistry and worked at a research institute before where I developed test methods for testing both food and beverage. And then I came to Angostura and fell in love with rum. I actually didn't drink rum before joining Angostura, believe it or not. I just settled for non alcoholic beverages. And then I fell in love with rum.
Was John already there working at that point?
Yes, John was already here in his role as the plant manager for distillery operations then. In those days, I joined in 1995.
Did he approach you and said, Carol, the path to enlightenment is drinking from this bowl? And you're like, what is inside that bowl? You're like, it's Angostura rum. You're like, ah.
No, but Federico, what really happened when I joined Angostura, I did a lot of research on the age rums. And this was looking at when we should take the rums out from aging to blend. And I did the analysis using a gas chromatograph. So I was very familiar with different age rums and the different chemical components of these rums. And that is where my curiosity started as to, hey, when I blend these, when I bring them together, let me see what we end up with. So that is where the love and passion started.
Okay. Well, let's talk about blending. Can you show us a little bit about the blending room or anything that you can showcase to
No,
us?
actually, I'm in my office and I can show you a little bit of the lab. My office is actually in Angostura Laboratory. So I can show you a peek of it. I can also show you some of our rums from the Spirits of the World. As you see, we actually have rums of the Caribbean on this display, as well as rums from the US and the UK. But I would just like you to give me a minute so I can take you and show you part of the lab.
Okay, it sounds great. Like it. Let's. All right.
Yes, so Federico, we are now in the wet chemistry area,
Okay, Carol,
and
you need to get a
we
little bit
are
closer
looking
to
at
the
the super
phone so we
deep
can hear you
where
better.
we analyze the rum 4% alcohol. It actually takes about 15 minutes versus the long distillation, which takes about 2.5 hours. So this is an improvement. We actually bought this unit out of France. So I will now take you to the instrument room. So we are in the instrument room here and we are looking at the gas chromatograph I had mentioned earlier, where we analyzed our rums for what we call, as well as we are looking here at the gas chromatograph, where we analyze trace contaminants as well as components in the rums. And then we have the unit here where we analyze metals in water. So this is just to give you a short view of the instrument room. And I'll just give you a peek of our sensory evaluation room where we
do our sensory evaluation of our rums in this room. As you see, we actually had some panelists come and do an appraisal of some rums we'll be coming up with soon. And then we have our Angostura rum flavor wheel, which was developed at the Scotch Whisky Research Institute. So I will take you back. So this is just giving you a quick display of the lab.
Carol, that was phenomenal. Thank you so much.
So you got the whirlwind tour of the lab. We have a microbiology lab, which it's really kept very sterile, and we are not allowed unless we have the right protective equipment where to go into that area. And interestingly enough, the microbiology lab is where we house our bespoke yeast, and that's the yeast that starts the magic. So it's actually kept in a bank in the UK, and we keep part of these in Trinidad in our microbiology lab. And what we do every year, we do DNA testing to ensure that there are no mutations of our yeast. And it is the other best kept secret in Angostura, apart from our bitters formulation.
And what about all the rums that you have back there in the spirits of the world? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Right, sure. So if you give me a minute, right? So here you see our international rum range. This was actually the old package before we went to the other package, as well as we had Caribbean Club, which was our flavored beverages. And then some of our local wines, the Corayas wines. But what you also see here would be the limited edition, which we did. And these were the #1 in bourbon cask, in cognac cask, and in sherry cask. And again, the decanter would have been the old package, which was used. We also have some of the rums from the different Caribbean islands. We have Old Grog from Grenada, Clark's Court. We also have Mongay from Barbados, El Dorado from Guyana. And we have some rums from Haiti, St. James, as well as Rum Nisson, Rum Zacapa. Those are some of the rums we have in our collection, as well as Appleton, you would see from Jamaica. And Foursquare rum, we have 2 bottles of it, Dominus, as well as 2007. And then we have a few, just 1 rum out of Canada. So we have 2 rums from St. Lucia Distillers. So that is just to give you a sense of some of the rums. If I didn't call your country, I'm sure we have your rums. Just bear with me. I'm not being biased. Yes, so we have rums from around the Caribbean in the display.
Hopefully you have some rum from Puerto Rico too, somewhere back there.
We do.
All right. All right. And why is there a reason you like to have this rum?
Yes, what we like to do is a comparison, and we call it competitive comparison. And we look at the different rums and their style, and also we looked at where it's placed, whether it's a standard rum, a premium rum, an ultra premium rum. And we compare it to where we would place our rum. So we actually analyze it as well, and go through the sensory evaluation. And what you pick up is that every country, every island would have their different style, their different signature profile And that is the same with us. And obviously, it would start with the whole process of rum making, starting with the yeast all the way to aging. And so in our business, we all do it. And we have some of the finest rums out of the Caribbean. And I'm not just speaking Angostura, but throughout the Caribbean. And that's the reason we are pushing so much with our authentic Caribbean rum mark, so that we stand out in terms of our provenance as well as authenticity and quality. So we love to showcase all our Caribbean rums.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. We should have an advertising with you right there.
I hope I don't lose my job after this.
Well, in the chat, I do see a comment already from Wurzbach. So they're all excited that I'm sure when they hear this part, you're promoting the whole category of Caribbean rum. They're gonna love it.
Yes. It's,
okay, Carol. Let's if it's okay with you, let's jump to another question. When it comes to blending, how much is technical skills and how much is up to your senses, like the palate and the nose?
Right. Well, really, Federico, you must have a knowledge of your age rums. You must have a knowledge of the materials, your starting materials, which would be your age rums. So this was the reason I told you when I became very interested, it started where I was doing research on our age rums, looking at all the different age components, and having a knowledge of the rums. And in our language, we say congeners, which really is the different levels of alcohols and that you will have in rums. And when you bring it together, for us at Angostura, what we do, we actually analyze the rums in the different casks. And this is chemical analysis by gas chromatography, as well as we do sensory evaluation. And this is nose, as well as you would not try to taste an aged rum, but from the nose, you will have a sense of the attributes of the rum. And then we bring it together. Once we are okay, we actually nose every single cask before we put it together to ensure that the rum is of the right quality for that particular blend. Then we bring it together and then go through our blending in terms of our filtration. And of course, if it's a colored rum, we would add our caramel just to ensure we have a consistent color from batch to batch. So that is how we will do it in blending. And throughout each stage, we analyze it to ensure that we meet the specifications which we set for our different rums, meaning the different brands, whether it's 1919, 1824, 1787. We also do another panel just before we bottle the rum. And then again, after bottling, we retain samples to ensure within a year that it remains as that consistent rum and there are no changes.
Oh, wow.
So that's about it. Unfortunately, I'm not in the blending area. I'm in the lab, so I wouldn't be able to show you some of our secrets.
Yeah, we want to know all the secrets. Okay, and then how do master blenders maintain a consistency generation after generation?
Right. So interestingly enough, the master blenders at Angostura are women, right? Are all women. And the ones that I'm training now are all women. Fortunately for us, they all started in the lab and then branched off into blending as well as new product development. And we have a fantastic team of blenders, Anne-Marie O'Brien, who is our blending manager and also head of quality assurance. We have Ariana Mirage, who is the senior analyst for our new product development. And we have Narissa Joseph, who works in the blending department, where she would prepare all the blends for bottling. So we have a great team of women who are all very passionate about blending and especially passionate about all our rums. And we really make a wonderful team. So behind me, we have 3 master blenders in the making. All right. And that's what I spend a lot of time doing, to hand over the torch, per se.
Well, we hope you don't retire soon. This is important.
We'll see.
And rum is supposed to keep us young. That's why you look so young, and that's why I'm keeping myself young.
It's supposed to preserve us. That's what it says.
All right. Let's talk about what happens in the lab. Well, no, we already talked about that. We didn't talk about. You said that we can't show the lab. Let's talk about. Well, you showed us the lab, so let's see.
And I mentioned some of the quality control measures which we take. We of course check all our raw materials, molasses, our treated water. We also check all the rums before we put them into a blend. We analyze them, and we also do sensory evaluation. And when we actually do the blend, we would have stages where we will check it as well. That is where the lab comes in. And our lab is actually ISO 17025-2017 accredited. So this is an international standard, and we are accredited for alcohol testing. So apart from having our quality management system, which is our 9001 and food safety management system, we also have our lab accreditation. So it requires a lot of testing every step of the way against our own specification.